Hey everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most legendary stories in music history.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Johnson's supposed deal with the devil.
It's a good one.
It is. And to help us unpack this whole thing, we're going to be looking at excerpts from a text called Text Collie,
Okay.
and it's going to be a wild ride. So get ready for some music, some myth, and a whole lot of cultural impact as we try to figure out just what made this story resonate for almost a century.
I think one of the most interesting things about this legend is how it blends fact and fiction.
Yeah?
It really makes you wonder what to believe.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, picture this.
Yeah.
You've got this young Robert Johnson, right? Wants to be a musician. He's got some talent, sure,
Right.
but he's not like blowing anyone away or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, poof, he disappears for a while. Nobody knows where he went. And when he comes back,
Yeah.
his guitar skills are unbelievable.
Just like night and day, right?
Totally. Like the source
Wow.
even says people were amazed and astonished by how much he'd improved.
Yeah, and that's where this legend really takes root.
Right.
Because people needed a way to explain this crazy transformation.
It's like, where did this come from?
Exactly. And you have to remember the context too, right? The American South back then was steeped in all these belief systems.
So let's talk about the crossroads,
Yes.
because that's a pretty central part of this story.
Yeah.
Why is that setting so important?
Well, think about the Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
It was, and in some ways still is, a place where folklore and reality kind of blur together. And crossroads, especially in hoodoo traditions, were seen as like these spiritual intersections.
Oh, interesting.
Almost like a thin spot between the natural world and the supernatural.
Wow.
So when Johnson goes to a crossroads looking for power, he's tapping into something very specific.
He's not just picking any random spot, is he?
Nope, not at all.
So paint us a picture of this encounter.
All right, so the legend goes that Johnson, desperate to become a master musician,
Mhm.
goes to this crossroads at night, and he meets this mysterious figure there. Now, it's never stated outright,
Right.
but most people assume it's the devil.
Okay, so what happens next? This is where it gets good.
It does. Johnson offers his guitar to this figure,
Okay.
who takes it, tunes it, plays a few little melodies, and they're described as haunting,
Ooh.
and then gives it back.
So like some kind of magic ritual almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the story says that this is what gave Johnson his amazing talent.
But at a cost.
Right.
His soul. That's a pretty dark deal. Do you think folks back then really believed this could happen, or was it more like a metaphorical kind of story?
It's tough to say for sure,
Yeah.
but belief in the supernatural was way more common back then.
Makes sense.
And this whole deal with the devil idea,
Okay.
it was used a lot in religious teachings as a warning,
Oh, I see.
like a cautionary tale about the dangers of wanting worldly things.
Like fame and fortune.
Yeah, or even just the pleasures of music and things like that.
Yeah. So how does the legend try to explain Johnson's actual skills? I mean, what was it about his playing that was so special?
Well, you gotta understand, Johnson's guitar technique was really complex, especially for that time.
Okay.
He was a master of slide guitar,
Hmm.
using open tunings, bottleneck slides.
I know some of those terms, but I'm not a musician, so.
Yeah, no worries. Basically, he created these unique, haunting sounds
Okay.
that nobody had really heard before,
So the legend is basically saying his talent came from something supernatural.
in a way.
Okay. But are there other ways to interpret this story? Aside from a literal deal with the devil, I mean.
Oh, definitely. Some people think it's more of a metaphor for Johnson's dedication. Like, he went away, isolated himself, and just practiced relentlessly.
Oh, I like that interpretation.
It's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, it kind of speaks to the idea that maybe we can achieve anything if we just put in the work.
The source actually talks about how his skills seemed magical,
Right.
but that's because of the sheer effort he put in.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how much of genius is just hard work and dedication.
Right.
So how has this whole legend shaped Robert Johnson's legacy? Because I feel like you can't really talk about him without mentioning it.
No, you can't. It's become so intertwined with his image. He's like this blues icon shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
And the legend itself has popped up in all sorts of art forms.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, the most famous example is probably that movie Crossroads from 1986.
I heard of that one.
Yeah, it really cemented this image of Johnson as the blues man who made a pact with the devil.
Does it actually show the Crossroads encounter?
It does, even the musical duel that seals the deal.
Wow.
So it's had a big impact on pop culture.
It's wild how this story just keeps resonating with people. Truth or fiction, why do you think that is? What's so powerful about this legend?
I think the ambiguity is part of the appeal. We don't know for sure what happened,
Right.
and that makes it all the more intriguing.
It definitely keeps the mystery alive.
It does. It means Robert Johnson's legacy remains really complex.
Yeah.
He's one of the most influential figures in blues history,
For sure.
but also one of the most enigmatic.
Totally. It leaves us with a lot more questions than answers, but that's part of what makes it so fascinating, right?
Exact.
Makes you want to dig deeper, listen to his music, and come to your own conclusions.
Yeah, and maybe that's the point.
It does make you think.
Yeah.
So, for everyone listening, as you explore Robert Johnson's music, I want you to ask yourself this.
Okay.
Was his talent truly a gift from the devil?
All right.
Or is the real magic found in the human spirit, in our capacity for dedication and artistry?
It's a good question.
The answer, much like the blues itself, might lie somewhere between those notes of darkness and light.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks. And that's it for our deep dive this week. Keep those questions in mind and keep listening.
Always listening.